Yeah, the stock market. Stock market has lost $5 trillion in 3 weeks. Yes, Trump, he's the Ozempic of the economy. Wow. 5 trillion. Today, Greenland offered to buy us. There are...
Holy moly, folks. Did you see what just happened to our stock market? A mind-blowing $5 trillion vanished in just 3 weeks under Trump's watch. That's like handing your life savings to a toddler and expecting them to invest wisely. Except, as Bill Maher hilariously points out, the toddler might actually make better decisions. I can't stop laughing at Maher's brutal takedown of Trump's so-called business genius.
One thing we've known about Trump for quite a while is that in the world, the countries that we traditionally liked, like England and France, those kind of places, he doesn't really like. And the people that we traditionally didn't like Saudi Arabia and Russia, he likes. For example, there's I'm sticking with the Union, the former Soviet Union. Unlike some people, he always says thank you. Europe, your ancestors left for a reason.
Remember when we were told he'd run America like his businesses? Well, turns out that wasn't actually a good thing. What do you guys think about Trump's economic leadership? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm dying to hear your take on this financial roller coaster. Look, I've always been fascinated by economics, even though I slept through most of my college econ classes, lol. But even I can see that something's seriously wrong here. Trump, the guy who somehow managed to bankrupt casinos, applied his business brilliance to our entire economy. As Maher pointed out, that's like failing a breathalyzer at an oxygen bar. Seriously, how do you even do that?
Let's talk about how the Republicans have changed.
Oh.
You said in your special, Trump got the White House again, but he's not going to get your mind. How's that resolution holding up?
Not that well. I gotta say it lasted. Yeah. I also said I wouldn't pre-hate anything, which is true. I didn't pre-hate, but boy, does the hate come around quickly. Mm-hmm. I mean, has it been only a month? Yeah.
It's been 1 month.
1 month.
1 month.
I mean, I made a list. Like, here's what I already hate. Here's things I don't hate yet. There are things that, like, the idea that Gaza could be Dubai instead of this hellhole that it's been. Other people have suggested that by way of us taking it over. No. Starting a new American empire. No. This insanity of Zelensky as the dictator and
outrageous
this opposite day kind of shit with the Western Alliance. So that resolution is being bad.
And yet, we handed him the keys to our economy. The result? Exploding national debt, skyrocketing living costs, and economic uncertainty that has my retirement account looking like a horror movie. Anyone else checking their 401k through their fingers like you're watching a scary movie? OMG, those tax cuts though. Trump promised they'd be life-changing for regular folks like us. But guess what? While my brother-in-law got enough extra cash to maybe buy an extra value meal at McDonald's, billionaires received enough to buy actual McDonald's franchises. I remember my tax refund shrinking faster than my favorite sweater in the dryer. Meanwhile, corporations used their windfall for stock buybacks instead of raising wages. And here's the kicker. These cuts aren't even permanent for us normal people. By 2027, we'll be paying more while the...
Trump says, I like reading as little as possible. I don't need, 200-page reports on something that can be handled on a page. He's actually proud that he makes decisions without learning anything, which makes him the perfect president for a nation perpetually looking at its phone.
Paying more while the ultra-rich keep living their best lives. Classic Trump move, right? Has anyone here actually benefited from those tax cuts? I'm seriously curious. Trump's stock market obsession was like my ex's Instagram addiction, unhealthy and completely detached from reality. As Maher brilliantly put it,
"Shout for Canada, the quiet, polite neighbor you never suspect." I want you to cut dictators some slack.
Using the stock market to measure economic success is like using Instagram likes to determine your health. Just because Wall Street was partying doesn't mean Main Street was invited. In reality, I watched my rent increase every year while my paycheck.
What he's trying to tell us by continuing to do this dance. And now, making YMCA his anthem.
Paycheck stayed the same. Healthcare costs? Don't even get me started. And when the market crashed? Complete radio silence from Trump, followed by a tsunami of blame shifting. It's like when I burned dinner last night and somehow convinced myself it was me.
Yes, it turns out that the stock market has really kind of rejected the notion that if we turn on our trading partners, chickens would lay more eggs. Yeah, I mean, when Biden was president, it was everything about the eggs, the price of eggs. We got to lower the price of eggs. And now Trump retweeted somebody last week who said, "Shut up about the eggs."
It was my oven's fault. We've all been there, right? Then came the trade war. My God, what a disaster. Watching Trump negotiate international trade was like watching my uncle haggle over a used lawn mower at a garage sale. Painful and embarrassing for everyone involved. Maher nailed it when he compared Trump's tariff strategy to setting your own house on fire and calling it innovative heating.
And Americans are like, but we need eggs. What else are we going to throw at the Teslas? But you know what? $5 trillion in 3 weeks, and we have only ourselves to blame. Trump said this would happen if we re-elected Biden. Oh, wait, that didn't happen. No, this is happening because Trump wants to bring back manufacturing, and to get the ball rolling, he is manufacturing a recession.
I still remember when my dad's small business had to raise prices because of increased costs from those tariffs. Farmers lost livelihoods, businesses struggled, and trying to explain basic economics to Trump was like trying to teach my cat calculus. The lights were on, but nobody was home. Did any of you feel the impact of these tariffs in your daily lives? Share your stories below. Trump's business track record is about as impressive as my attempts at baking sourdough during lockdown. Spectacular failures all around.
What is he trying to tell us? And I'm not saying Donald Trump is secretly gay. It doesn't look like much of a secret. No, I'm kidding. I don't think he is gay. Quite the contrary. I think the message to his manosphere is that he's so masculine that he can literally jerk off 2 guys at once while dancing to the Village People and still be considered a masculine icon. I mean...
Trump Airlines? Crashed and burned faster than my dating life. Trump steaks? About as appetizing as the mystery meat in my high school cafeteria. Trump University? Left students with nothing but debt and trust issues. Despite all this, he still walks around calling himself a self-made billionaire, conveniently forgetting the millions Daddy gave him. It's like when I claim I made dinner after ordering DoorDash. The audacity. Are you as baffled as I am that we put someone with this business history in charge of the...
Let's spin the big tariff wheel. Woo! Round and around she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows. And every day, Trump puts these amazingly large tariffs on other countries, and when the countries respond with their tariffs, he acts shocked at their disrespect. How dare you do to me what I just did to you?
History in charge of the world's largest economy? Looking at the aftermath of Trump's economic leadership is like surveying the damage after letting my 3-year-old nephew redecorate my living room. Absolute chaos everywhere. We're left with a wrecked economy, national debt that makes my student loans look reasonable, and financial disasters that'll keep Trevor Noah and Stephen Colbert in business for decades.
Yeah, I'm getting Donald Trump for my birthday. Oh, I keep saying, God, why? And then I go, Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
The last 25 years I've been making fun of you
This
on
is
TV.
God's way.
Okay, that's it. That little religious. You hated that, too. I remember. Okay. All
Business
right.
for decades. As Maher so perfectly put it, Trump treated America's economy like a personal plaything, something to break and discard before moving on to his next con. It's the same pattern we've seen in all his ventures: flashy promises, ignored warnings, spectacular collapse, blame someone else, rinse and repeat. Sound familiar to anyone else?
You were like taking people to task, as I think you should, for who like would boycott Donald Trump, and you said, but if he wanted to come on your show, you would have him on.
Of course.
Because you said it's important to talk to important people.
Yes.
But I would add this.
Yeah.
If you are going to have him on, he's a politician.
Yeah.
I know he's actually a game show host from Queens. But now he's the President of the United States. So if you're going to have him on, this is everybody, hold his feet to the fire.
You mean literally?
Oh, if you could. Would that...
Anyone else? The most mind-boggling part. Trump still has the nerve to claim he's the only one who can fix everything he broke. That's like my ex offering to help me recover from the emotional damage he caused. He's still out there selling the same tired economic snake oil, conveniently forgetting he was the one who poisoned the well last time. It's the ultimate con: break something, convince everyone only you can fix it, wait for it to collapse again, then blame everyone else. And somehow, his supporters still believe him. I'm genuinely curious. What psychological factors do you think make people continue to trust someone with such a terrible track record?